Hey, what's up guys? So we're here to show off how to unlock everything in Season 19, the entire season journey and conquest. This video is mostly going to be focusing in on the conquest, but there are things that kind of tie in back and forth in between them. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So first off, the rewards for Season 19 are going to be this treasure goblin pet, and there is also another pet which is actually the horse named the Dream of Pierce, but most people are interested in the angelic goblin. You have to complete your entire season journey as well as 3 season conquests over here to actually get this. You also, in addition to that, you get a few different portrait frames and then also getting an extra stash space. Those are like the big things for the entire season journey, as well as all of those achievements. But let's go ahead and start off this video by going over the conquests here. And I will be making a video going over the entire season journey, but again, they're kind of tied within each other, the season conquests as well as the season journey. So let's go ahead and get started. So first off, you don't have to complete any of these in any specific order, but to actually open up the conquests over here, because in order to actually gain all of these items, you will need to do every single one of these chapter objectives and every single one of the Slayer, Champion, Destroyer, Conqueror, and Guardian. You have to do every single quest on here. A lot of them, though, you will just naturally complete, so don't feel overwhelmed if you look at all of these different lists with all of these different categories. It's really not that big of a deal, but I want to go ahead and focus in with the conquests this season. Like I said, we'll be making a video going over all the chapters, but basically the conquests are a specific category of other separate objectives that aren't listed right here. To actually open up the conquests, you're going to hold Shift plus L as in lasagna. Go ahead and open up the conquests over here. Make sure Season 19 is selected. And there are all these different quests over here. So let's go ahead and go over the quests and I'll show you guys how to complete all of them. If you're looking for a very specific timestamp, go ahead and check the description box. I'll put all of them down below, with the exception of one of them that is going to be completely separate, because that one's going to take a long time to actually complete, because it's a full length video, because it's completing the entire game's campaign mode. But anyways, first one, Avarice. Get 50 million gold streak while outside of the vault and in the inner sanctum. And then we have on a good day, level 3 legendary gems to 65. With Divinity, we have reach greater rift 75 solo. And then we have the Thrill, which is reach greater rift 45 solo without any set items equipped. Now, the one that we won't be covering here is the Sprinter, which is completing acts 1 through 5 at max level in under 1 hour, because I'm sure a lot of you guys just want these more simple ones, and we're going to go ahead and go over all of them except for Sprinter in this video, because again, this one is going to be for a completely different video if I decide to actually make this one. But you get to choose any 3 that you want to complete. You can complete more, but for the sake of the video, I will go over the 4 ones: Avarice, On a Good Day, Divinity, and the Thrill. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so the first one that we're going to be doing is Avarice, and that is to complete a 50 million gold streak while outside of the vault and the inner sanctum. And the easiest way to do this is actually utilizing the Boon of the Hoarder. So this is a legendary gem that's acquired by killing a boss inside of the vault. So first off, the first step is to acquire a puzzle ring. A lot of you guys probably have already gotten this ring or have seen this before, but the mechanic is to go ahead and put it into Kanai's cube. If you don't know how to get Kanai's cube, I will have a video pinned in the description box, and that will actually help you as well as in the pinned comment. But basically, you take the puzzle ring, you put it in the cube, you hit transmute, and that's going to open up this portal to the vault. And the boss will have a drop, which is Boon of the Hoarder. This will give you a chance to be able to pick up a bunch of gold when you kill an enemy. Once you max it out in its rank, which I'll show you guys how to level up your gems later in this video, but this is how you are able to get 100% chance on killing an enemy, which will cause them to drop gold. For the sake of the video, I'm going to go ahead and throw it on the ground so you guys can go ahead and see the boss here, but that's the item that you're trying to get with the vault. If you guys already know how this mechanic works, go ahead and check the timestamps for any of the things that you guys might be already familiar with. But we'll also actually be going into the Cal level, because the Cal level has a bunch of shrines and it makes things super easy to complete this. Alternatively, there is another way to complete it, which is actually to open up a bunch of bounties. But for the sake of the video, it's much faster than doing like several different bounty bags, because you will need to do, I believe it's 17 bounty bags in order to actually get enough gold.
Not ready yet.
But I would say this is probably faster for most people, but most people will also technically be doing bounties anyways. But again, whatever way you decide to acquire them. So we're going to go ahead and actually complete this entirety as far as the vault goes. We can probably pick up the stuff later because I have a lot of stuff in my inventory. Already for a bunch of the other things. So what you're trying to do is get this gold over here to 50 million. It's really not that difficult, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. We're going to go ahead and fight the boss, and this is Greed over here. And he's the one that's going to drop that gem. He is fairly easy. The only thing you have to really watch out for is when he charges. But our gear is sufficient enough, so it's no problem. So you'll see that there is this Boon of the Hoarder. And if you want to get more than one, you can just drop one in town or equip it onto another character. And just make sure you don't have one inside of your stash. We'll actually go back and pick up any of the items that are actually worthy. But that's how you get the Boon of the Hoarder gem. So once you have your gem and you rank it up to a maximum rank over here, in which case it's going to be 50, and don't worry, if you don't know how to rank up gems, I will show you how to do that in this video as well. So what you're going to do is take that gem and put it in, and you're going to try to look for specific items that you probably have gotten that you normally would just disenchant, but keep in mind, some of these are going to really help you out, but they're not required here. But the two items that I can really recommend for extra gold are going to be Kimbo's Gold as well as Gold Skin. The reason why is because they offer on the secondary up to 100% chance for extra gold from the secondary stat. There are also other items like the Kusterin Wrist Guards, which offer up to 35%, and Gold Wrap can also offer up to 35% additional gold here. Now, there's also the Gladiator Gauntlets. Any combination of these is totally fine. Again, you don't have to have all of them, but one thing that you will definitely have access to is a green gem, aka the Royal Emerald gem. So go ahead and actually put this inside of your helmet, and that's going to go ahead and increase the gold from your drops. Another thing is make sure you have a pet equipped, and this will really help out with your gold streak, because if you're not able to pick it up, your pet will go ahead and pick that up as well. So I'm going to go ahead and snapshot to a gold build that I actually have over here, and basically it's just equipping those items. It just lets me go ahead and change really fast over here. And we're going to go ahead and go into the cows. Now, to acquire the bovine bardiche, it's another just drop that a lot of you guys maybe have gotten early on. You were just saving it, but now is the really good time to utilize it for the Avarice conquest. So what you're going to do is put this also inside of the cube, and this will open up the cow level. Now the cow level is really good because it offers a pretty good size as far as density, but more importantly, it offers a lot of shrines. So you also want to go ahead and equip Nemesis bracers or put it inside of your cube, because this will make things much, much easier. And you guys will see how much gold you can get. It's absolutely insane how fast you can go ahead and get all of the gold. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. If you want to, make sure you can go ahead and do T16 with these equipped, because you might lose out on some damage depending on what you're putting inside of your cube. So make sure you're able to do T16 or whatever difficulty you decide to do, but as you scale up in difficulty, you will be getting more gold find. Another thing I want to mention with equipment is Avarice Band is also another item. The items that can give you gold: Avarice Band, Christian Wrist Guards, Gladiator Gauntlets, the Gold Wrap, Kimbo's Gold. All of these are great. But the Boon of the Hoarder is really what's going to allow all of this to happen, and that's because we're going to have a 100% chance when we kill an enemy to cause an explosion of gold. You also will get additional movement speed, so that's nice too. But I wanted to show off that you can actually equip gold and magic find on your follower, and that will increase your gold find as well. It's at a reduced rate. In fact, the magic find over here is a lot easier to measure. If we use this neutral ring, it has 50% chance, better chance of finding magic items. You can see our magic find right here is 0, but if I equip it to my follower, it will be 10. You can also do the same thing. You'll see my gold find go up slightly. It's at a reduced rate, but it does still technically work, and I just want to mention that for the sake of the video. But again, it's a small number, but you know, everything adds up. So what we're going to try to do is get that number in the bottom right to go all the way to 50 million. So let's go ahead and attempt to do that. You can run ground stomp, you can run leap. It doesn't really matter too much as far as your mobility skill, but you kind of want one. So what you want to do is do not pick up any of the drops that you get. Make sure you open up the chest, hit a bunch of the shrines up, but do not stop That's the most important thing with this, is to not stop at all. So you can see our gold is at 8 million, 9 million. And we want to go ahead and just pick up all that gold, because every time we're killing an enemy, it's going to go ahead and drop a bunch of gold. We only need to get to 50 million. I've gotten almost... Oh wait, see how we're at 35 right now? We don't want to drop our streak. There we go. So just be careful that you're always constantly on the lookout for any elite packs too. With the Nemesis Bracers, you'll be getting a lot more elite packs. So there's a lot of shrines over here. We already hit 50 million. But for the sake of the video, I will kind of go around to show you guys the map. Make sure you hit these chests, because they do happen to open up gold. And it's okay to leave some gold. Don't feel like you have to pick up every single one, because if you need to backtrack, it'll be a lot easier so you don't lose out on your streak. But there's a bunch of shrines. Make sure, you touch all of those shrines, because it makes things so much easier for this. I won't do everything, but I just want to show you guys that like it's pretty generous on the amount of shrines that will be here on the cal level. I'm just going to go ahead and go back, because at this point we've already shown it off. So that's one really easy way that you guys can access it. Also, there is a secret boss. I'll link a video if you guys do want to see that. The cal level is also very good for trying to get the Uber Super Diablo, the secret boss that's in Season 19. But that is how you complete the Conquest Avarice, which is again that 50 million gold streak while outside of the vault and the inner sanctum. Alright, so the next set is going to be doing, on a good day, Divinity and the Thrill. I'm going to kind of tie these all into one, because they are all essentially kind of the same thing. So I will show you guys the mechanic on leveling up gems. So gems are required when you do a Greater Rift. They will just drop at the very end. And then we're going to have to level up 3 of them to 65. The higher the Greater Rift, the higher chance that you will be able to level up your gem. And then Divinity is just to go ahead and do a Greater Rift 75 solo, and then the Thrill is to reach Greater Rift 45 solo without any set items equipped. So pretty much that is just going over to the Nephilim Obelisk, activate this, and you will select Greater Rift. Now this will require you to have a Greater Rift keystone, and how you get a Greater Rift keystone is by doing a regular rift, and at the very end there'll be a boss and he will have a chance to drop it. The higher that you go up in the difficulty, the higher chance there will be more than one Greater Rift keystone to actually drop. So one recommendation I have for you guys with this, to complete the Greater Rift 45 without any set items, is to use the Legacy of Dreams. This is a legendary gem. It has a very high chance to drop in the very beginning. A lot of you guys probably already have this if you've done a few Greater Rifts, but it has the ability to make it so when you have no set bonuses equipped, every legendary item you have equip your damage dealt by 375% and reduces your damage taken by 2%, and it is doubled for ancient items. I also want to mention that primals will still work with this. They will be counted as an ancient item in the first place. Go ahead and make sure you go ahead and equip this gem, and if you happen to have some multipliers, that would be great. For example, a lot of you guys are probably playing Barbarian this season, and I still happen to have my Lamentation equipped over here. Try to equip as many ancient items as possible, and then you just want some type of multiplier if you can. I already have Ambo's Pride equipped, but if you don't happen to have it, put it in the cube, and then you can just run Whirlwind or run whatever. There are a lot of different builds that will be resource starved, so if you want to go to your passives and kind of change things up, like for example, like Unforgiving, and I can even throw on like Animosity here, just because I won't get that extra resource generation like I normally would with bulk Kathos. Just try to look for anything that has a multiplier. If you have this at 99, you're pretty much good to go, but you don't have to max this out. It just technically makes things easier, and if you do want to make other builds, this is definitely a great gem to kind of have more freedom. But don't worry about everything in slot. Don't think that you need the best type of gear. I mean, look at the stuff that I'm using, and a lot of this stuff is going to be pretty much completely useless, like this. We got the Gladiator Gauntlets. A lot of this stuff, loot socks, a lot of this stuff doesn't really matter at all. It's just mostly that what you're trying to do is get some type of a multiplier. In our case, we have Ambo's Pride, and we can just Whirlwind anyways, and we'll get the effect of the bonus damage. In fact, Since I already have mental channeling over here, I can go ahead and swap that out, and we can go ahead and throw in Nemesis Bracers. That's just going to increase our speed over here. Again, you don't have to copy this because you might be playing another class anyways. Just throw in as many ancient items as you possibly can, and if you don't have an ancient, just throw a legendary item. But remember, no set items. So all you have to do is go ahead and do a Greater Rift 45, and for the sake of the video, because I do want this video to have everything included, we're going to go ahead and also complete the entire Rift and basically explain it and show how the level up mechanic does work for the gems. But it's relatively fast. This build's just going to go ahead and mow through the content here. And since we have loot socks, it will be kind of fun to go ahead and be able to leap multiple times. We could probably even throw in sprint over the Warcry here, but it'll be fast. Make sure you go ahead and collect those orbs. Those purple orbs that drop when you kill elites are going to go ahead and increase this timer. Once you max this out to 100%, a Rift Guardian will spawn, and once you eliminate him, as long as you can eliminate him within the time frame, which it's pretty easy again on a 45, especially if you happen to have some ancient items, you'll be able to level up your gems. Most of you guys probably already know this mechanic, but again, keep in mind, you know, people just got Diablo 3 on the Switch, and maybe they just picked up the game recently, because it did also go on sale this week. If you guys maybe haven't picked up the Necromancer pack, it is also on sale. The not sponsored video, by the way, but Blizzard, I'm here if you listen. But yeah, just collect those orbs. They're pretty important. I do like playing around with the loot socks. I'm just going to try to find those elites. But yeah, it's relatively simple, and if you do die during a Greater Rift, don't worry, it doesn't end it, unless you're playing hardcore, in which case, well, it ended it because your character's gone. But you can respawn in it. It just increases the timer. Every single time that you die, it will increase it more. So basically, you have 15 minutes to complete this, which, again, it's pretty easy on a Greater Rift 45, but
need more time.
Just wanted to mention that. Let's go ahead and go over here. That's why I love Leap so much. It lets you go through content so much faster. Is there an elite here? I'm just kind of looking out for those elites.
You cannot stand before me.
But yeah, this is the exact same thing as a regular Rift. It's just that the regular Rifts are not timed. So you have unlimited time to do the Greater Rifts. Really wish there was a pylon somewhere close by. And sometimes when you kill an elite, it'll take a second for the purple orbs to drop. Especially on like grotesques, which are the guys that explode with the little like worms that come out. So don't stand too close to them, because sometimes it can do a decent amount of damage. Because remember, you don't have any set equipped, and most sets will like reduce the damage that you take by about 50%. So let's go ahead and just pick up our loot over here. And like I mentioned before, everyone will get a legendary gem. It's kind of random on what you'll be getting, but you'll get all of them. And you can only get one gem unless you happen to have it on another character. Then basically it won't drop the same gem. Unless you go ahead and augment it, which is something we'll talk about later down the line. So after you complete your Greater Rift, you'll talk to Urshi, and she'll let you upgrade a gem. So you'll see over here, some gems will actually max out, and certain other ones will say like upgrade chance 0. And so if we want to upgrade a gem, it needs to be within a certain level. I believe it's like 10 over whatever you've done to have a high, basically 100% chance. So say for example, if I was to want it to level up this, I think I would need to do like a 111 for 100% chance. I forgot the exact number, but it's something like that. Basically, the higher you go in the Greater Rifts, the higher chance that you'll have to upgrade the gem at the level. So, for example, this one we just got, it will always be 100% chance. And you don't always have to level up the gems that you're currently using. You can actually level up gems to augment later down the line. So it's not completely like worthless to go ahead and upgrade a gem. And I normally play with Bane of the Trap, but I have that on another character right now. So I'm going to go ahead and just level up just... Again, it doesn't matter. It can be a completely random gem because you'll use it later on for something called augments. But that is how you go ahead and complete that conquest. Which again, whoops, this one's going to be on a good day. That's how you level up. You need to level up 3 different ones to 65. And then for Divinity, we've already shown off a Greater of 45. A 75 is the exact same thing. It will just be a little bit more difficult. And then lastly, we have the Thrill. And that is going to allow you to just run it without any sets and just a 45, so it'll be a lot easier. Then once you go back into town, it's just like if you completed a regular rift, although you don't have to wait the 30 seconds after when you talk to Auric over here and you get a bunch of XP. But yeah, that is how you complete all of the conquests with the exception of Sprinter. You don't have to do all of them, you just have to pick 3. More than likely, the easiest ones, if you guys want like some tips on the easiest ones, I would recommend the Thrill, Divinity, and On a Good Day. Avarice, if you want to, and if you happen to level up Boon or the Hoarder, because there are technically some builds that can work for T16 by using that gold build. It's utilizing the gold wrap belt to actually have a lot of damage reduction, and on top of that, you're moving super fast. It's just kind of a fun build at the end of the day. But after you go ahead and complete all of those conquests plus everything else, which will be the season journey, which you can access by holding Shift and J or just clicking over here. We've already completed all of them, so that is how you complete all of the conquests this season. Again, the other one, it definitely needs a separate video because that's literally almost an hour-long video, and I don't know if I'm going to be making it, to be honest, because I think most people just want the easiest ones, and that one's it's not necessarily difficult, it just requires a little bit of team play because it requires you to kind of know the pathing, but it's really not that difficult. Most of them are pretty easy at the end of the day. But yeah, so that is how you complete all of the conquests this season, or the 3 easiest ones. We showed off 4, but you need to complete everything to unlock these. But I know a lot of you guys did come to my stream and were asking, you know, you were asking about a video for the conquests and which ones are the best ones to do, and these are the ones that I can recommend you guys to do this season going into season 19. And like I said, you do have to complete everything, and I will be making a video very soon going over all of the chapters, but most of you guys have probably completed all of them anyways, and you just wanted the conquest guide, so here it is for you. But anyways, that's it for the video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you are new here and do want to see the rest of the season journey video that ties along with getting all of your rewards along with the stash base and the goblin pet, make sure you subscribe and you turn on that bell, and I will be uploading that one very soon. It's actually probably the next video I'm going to work on right after this one, but that one is going to be extensive because we're going to go ahead and go over all of the journey chapters. But anyways, that's how you unlock the stash space, the goblin, and the other pet, which is the horse over here. We'll go ahead and equip him so you guys can see him in game real quick because I didn't really show him off. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a good one, and I'm signing out. Peace.